that because I think Lucas wrote it that way very deliberately. That if you're not nitpicking the story and actually getting into the flow of it, you're supposed to be disturbed by the fact that the bad guy kind of has a point, at least
Yep.
in that regard. Now, to be clear, Palpatine from a Christian worldview would be more like just the pure, like, hedonistic, like worldly, just we're going to come out and outright worship the devil or something side of things. But then when you get deep into that culture, it is oftentimes the case that people will reason their way into that culture and stay within it. Because though, how many times do you hear people basically say, yeah, I ain't too great, but then again, all those religious people aren't either. All the good moral people, are they really good? Aren't they just their own form of evil? So you're left in a world that's there are no good guys, there are no heroes. Everyone is flawed just in a different way.
But, one person could look at that negatively and say, that just makes the world terrible. But, you could also look at it from a positive standpoint that everybody has something to say and something to bring to the table, from a theological standpoint.
I mean, I would say that everyone has a viewpoint that's worth considering. I would say, not to contradict my overall theme here, but from a Christian worldview, there have to be certain dogmas that you have to hold to. And I think the legalistic / Jedi mistake is how many? Because the number is actually, I would argue that the number is actually relatively limited. I mean, they're like life and death. They're like, you've got to hold to them. God is God. There's one God. Jesus is God. Trinity, form of salvation by grace through faith alone, not by works. That you got to hold to be a Christian by definition. But the Jedi kind of represent what happens when you extend it way beyond that. And it's not like religious groups in history. In a way, the Jedi are kind of like a monastic order, aren't they?